Now, David, what made you decide to start investing in media? You're a philanthropist. You've invested quite a bit into this movement that's attempting to bring the country together from all sides. Why did you think you needed to add yet another media outlet?
Well, for several reasons. Most of it came from just listening to the Bridge Alliance members. I try to dialogue with all of them on a regular basis. It's difficult. We have 90 members now. But one of the most important things to them, obviously funding is critical, but one of the most important things to them is media attention. They feel they have a story to tell. They have real accomplishments, and they do. I mean, this isn't a fantasy. These organizations have budgets of $1 million, $2 million, $3 million a year. Some of them are small, $250,000, but they are making real progress on a daily basis, but most Americans don't know. So I just believed it was critical to seek the best way to do this, and I believe we've come up with it.
Now, Nick, one of the problems in the media space is that the fight for eyeballs, and not only the fight for eyeballs, but the fight for advertising dollars. Most of the big media companies are folks that we actually considered reputable at one time. You take a look at their websites right now, and it looks no different than any of the other websites that are there doing clickbait. What is it with your website that will allow you to do that, have some sort of a dialogue with your audience that's not necessitating the type of clickbait that these people have found necessary?
Yeah, so we think that there is a real hunger with regular Americans to begin putting our democracy back together again. We believe that there is a consumer base out there that is hungry for this, and yet there isn't a single media outlet in the country dedicated to this. So although the media space in general and the .com space in general might be cluttered, there's actually nothing in the entire country that does what we're talking about doing. So we will be the first media outlet to cover the fight for political reform and the fight for democracy reform. So we think that just being the first into the marketplace is in and of itself powerful. But we also believe that we will get, because of the Bridge Alliance membership and others who will be covering, we'll be able to get a good deal of attention and social media, love and energy from the groups that we're covering. So that's how we can build a readership over time, is by leaning on the organizations that we're covering and leaning on their existing social media communities.
Now, you're currently seated because you have a good influx from David and other philanthropists. Do you expect this to be at any point self-sustaining?
No, I don't think so. I think that a media outlet like this is always going to require some level of philanthropic support. And so, we'll try to bring in money from paid advertising, but I don't expect that we'll ever be able to generate enough in advertising revenue that it'll be completely self-sustaining. I think we can get it partially self-sustaining, but not completely self-sustaining.
I heard you mention earlier about starting to bring people in. Are you going to ensure that that this new network is representative of the community? If we take a look at all major networks right now, we have a tendency to see that it has a certain slant, and that folks are not necessarily very represented, neither the leaders or those that are being interviewed. Is that let's say a promise that's going to be made from this network to really look like America?
Yeah, when David and I first started talking about this, we both agreed that it will fail if it ends up seeming like it's an outlet for progressive views or progressive leaders. That this has got to be a place that covers all voices equally.
And to add to what Nick said, one thing that the people in the room today at this summit, the Bridge Alliance itself, we're not representative of just Washington, D.C. or New York City. These 90 organizations are all over the country. They represent the Midwest, the South, and we hope the voice of the people from all over the country is represented. We hope to have dialogues. We hope this is not a one-way publication, but really bring the American citizenry into a dialogue from all across the country.
Well, I really think this is something that's needed, and congratulations and for what you guys are doing, and I wish you full success.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.